wrestling fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of Gotmark76. This week we have a loaded show for you lined up today. Our main event will feature the total package, Lex Luger defending his United States Heavyweight Championship against Ricky Morton. We are only 2 weeks away from Wrestlemania, and Hulk Hogan will be in action this week as he takes on Heenan family member Ravishing Rick Rude in preparation for his world title opportunity against Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff at WrestleMania. Big Van Vader's in action as well as Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. However, we start today's show over on the NWA and a health update on Flying Brian Pillman. It was back at WrestleWar when Barry Windham nailed a devastating maneuver on the concrete floor, taking Brian Pillman out of action. Brian Pillman sent the following video to Gotmark76 This Week Studios, and without further ado, here is Flying Brian Pillman. So there you hear it, Flying Brian Pillman looking to make his return to the NWA during the month of April. And of course, we here at Gotmark76 This Week wish him a speedy recovery. One of the hottest superstars in the National Wrestling Alliance made his debut several months ago in the form of Big Van Vader. He has been destroying every opponent he stepped into the ring with and has an undefeated record so far here in the National Wrestling Alliance. On a recent edition of NWA World Championship Wrestling, he took on Brad Armstrong. And a front face lock by Big Van Vader has Brad Armstrong up in a bear hug, and Brad Armstrong is in trouble in the early going of this contest. And Vader letting Brad Armstrong out. He may just be delaying the inevitable, as Big Van Vader was stomping away on Brad Armstrong. But Armstrong fighting back, working the arm of Vader. And a chop has little to no effect as Vader punches out a kick. And a reversal by Armstrong, scoop slam, reversal by Armstrong, and drops him back. And a scorpion death drop. Armstrong fighting like the competitor he is, but Vader nails him and takes him down with a big clothesline. Are you kidding me? Vader up, Gorilla Press Slam, down goes Armstrong. And now Vader with a series of elbows to the neck area of Brad Armstrong. And off the ropes and drops an elbow across the sternum of Brad Armstrong. And Big Van Vader, belly to back suplex, up and over goes Brad Armstrong. And Vader can feel it here. It is only a matter of time. Oh, and Vader has Brad Armstrong up, and Owen, a beautiful maneuver. I thought he was setting him up for that power bomb, but slammed him backwards. And Brad Armstrong's in trouble. Vader throws him into the ropes. And a belly to back suplex overhead goes Brad Armstrong, and Vader saying it's time. Another Gorilla Press Slam, and down goes Armstrong. And Armstrong's not moving. Vader picking up Brad Armstrong. And here it is. That choke slam, down goes Brad Armstrong. And Vader could be setting him up for that power bomb. He has him in position. Vader lifting up Brad Armstrong and slamming him down to the mat with a thud. And Vader on top, 1, 2, and 3. And your winner, Big Van Vader. And Brad Armstrong gave everything he had, but it wasn't nearly close enough. And there's your winner, fans, Big Van Vader. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this quick timeout. And what another dominating performance by Big Van Vader. With all due respect to Brad Armstrong, I don't think he stood a chance in that contest. And Big Van Vader continuing his undefeated streak in the National Wrestling Alliance. Let's turn our attention to the World Wrestling Federation, as we are only 2 weeks away from Wrestlemania, April 1st here on the Gotmark76 YouTube channel. And while the card for Wrestlemania has yet to be finalized, there is one wrestler who's looking for an opponent, and that would be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Let's go to World Wrestling Federation Wrestling Challenge and join this match in progress as Ricky the Dragon Steamboat takes on Wild Samoan Sika. And another elbow by Steamboat sends Sika against the ropes. Into the ropes goes Sika. And a big chop takes the big man down. And Steamboat stomping away. Oh, but Sika catches a kick. And Sika turning Steamboat over. And there's that step over face lock. And Sika has it locked in, but Steamboat able to get the arms off of around his neck. And back Sika off. That step over toe hold face lock that Sika has been perfecting in recent weeks. And now Steamboat has Sika up, and a swinging neck breaker takes Sika down. Steamboat goes for the cover, referee. Oh, and Sika makes it to the ropes. Now Steamboat with the front face lock has Sika tied up in an abdominal stretch. And Sika fighting out of it, and hip toss takes Steamboat up and over. And now Steamboat with another elbow. And a big chop. Another chop blocked by Sika, but this one not. Steamboat continuing to chop away. On the Samoan. Misses with that chop, and Sika taking advantage. Throws Steamboat into the ropes, charges and splashes him from behind. And now Sika in control, picks up Steamboat. Oh, the backhand. Another, a chop by Sika, but another chop by Steamboat. And now a big right hand by Steamboat. Sika into the ropes. Ooh, and takes Steamboat down. And now Sika working the leg. Has a leg lock, locked in on Ricky Steamboat. Steamboat trying to fight out of it. And he does with a kick to the head of Sika. Now Steamboat up, and an atomic drop down goes Sika. Steamboat picks up Sika, measuring him for a clothesline, but Sika reverses it, and has Steamboat slamming him down to the mat goes Steamboat. And now Sika in control again, a back and forth contest. Has Steamboat, oh, but Steamboat elbows his way out of it. And throws Sika up and over the top rope goes the Wild Samoan. And now Steamboat climbing the top rope. Sika on the outside. Will we see the dragon fly? He's perched high and nails an elbow to the top of the head of Sika. Then Steamboat feels it, slides back into the ring as the referee has begun to count. Sika back to his feet, slides back into the ring, is met with a scoop slam by Ricky Steamboat. And now Steamboat climbing the top rope again. Sika getting back to his feet. The Steamboat could it be? It is! That crossbody off the top. Nails Sika. Referee counts 1, 2, and 3. And the Dragon is victorious here on a Wrestling Challenge. What a back and forth contest this was. And Ricky Steamboat still looking for an opponent at WrestleMania in 2 weeks' time. And Steamboat, of course, puts Sika away with a crossbody. And wait a second, Sika, he's eyeing up Steamboat. And Sika nails Steamboat from behind. Oh man, Sika taking Steamboat down. And here comes the Rock Morocco to save Steamboat. Morocco saving Ricky Steamboat, asks if he's okay. Owen nails him in the midsection. What is Morocco doing? What is going on here? Don Morocco just nails Ricky Steamboat and is leaving the Dragon lying. What is going on? And I am still in shock. Don the Rock Morocco turning his back not only on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, but also the fans and his mentor, superstar Billy Graham. Well, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was looking for an opponent for WrestleMania, and he may have just found it in the form of Don the Rock Morocco. One World Wrestling Federation superstar who knew his destiny going in was Hulk Hogan. He defeated Andre the Giant back at January's Royal Rumble to earn a world title opportunity at WrestleMania. And of course, he's looking to stay in shape both physically and mentally, as this week he takes on Heenan family member Ravishing Rick Rude. And Hogan, working over the arm of Ravishing Rick Rude, takes Rude down and now has an armbar. And Hogan in control in the early going of this contest. Rude trying to fight back and does. He fights out. And now Rude with a front face lock has Hogan up for a suplex. And down goes the Hulkster, as Bobby Heenan cheers on at ringside. And now Rude in control with a big kick takes Hogan down. And Hogan fighting back with a series of right hands, an elbow to the top of the head. Whips Rude into the ropes, off the rebound, and a big clothesline takes Ravishing Rick Rude down. As Hogan celebrates to the fans, but Rude back up to his feet, pulling Hogan up the second turnbuckle, face first on the top. And now a backbreaker by Rick Rude takes Hogan down. And now Rude back in control, and a big right hand, but followed up by an elbow by Hogan, a big right hand by Hogan. Back and forth in the early going. A series of chops reversed by Rude. A punch by Hogan. A chop by Hogan. And now Rude with the Gorilla Press slam, and down goes the Hulkster. And these two men, punch for punch, chop for chop, muscle for muscle. A quite evenly exchanged match so far. Rude goes for the cover one, and a kick out at one by the Hulkster. The main event WrestleMania, 2 weeks time, and Hulk Hogan going against Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. He will get his second opportunity, his second rematch, since losing the world title just over a year ago. Of course, the first match at the big event in August ended with Paul Orndorff securing the victory with a handful of trunks. But since that time, as Rude rolls up Hogan from behind, has Hogan pinned one, and a kick out at one by Hulkster. Since that time, Paul Orndorff has gained a lot of confidence, as Rude almost stealing a victory there. And Orndorff full of confidence. The Heenan family member, he is full of confidence. The Heenan family, for that matter, not so much. They're trying to do everything they can. Ooh, and the big boot takes Rude over the top rope. And that is usually the precursor to the leg drop. But Rude, the force took him out of the ring. And Orndorff is confident. This match at WrestleMania, I think, will be the most even between these two men since their feud started over a year ago. And remember, and Rude has Hogan up in a pile driver and nails him. Rick Rude, maybe getting some lessons from Orndorff on how to deliver a pile driver, goes for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, and a kick out barely by Hulk Hogan. It was Orndorff. Oh, and now Rude. Setting up Hogan. Could it be a Rude awakening? Kick to the midsection. Has Hogan in a Rude awakening and nails him. And Hogan is in trouble. If Rude goes for the pinfall, he could steal a victory here. He does. Goes for the cover. Referee counts 1 and a kick out at 1 by Hogan. Don't ask me how Hogan kicked out at 1, but he managed to. And Rude can't believe it. But Rude, wisely staying on top of the Hulkster, has him locked in a camel clutch. Can Hogan escape or will he tap out here? And the Hulkster, able to slip his arms through and pull ravishing Rick Rude face first, getting out of the maneuver. But Rude staying on top with a kick to the midsection. Hogan answers and responds with a punch and an elbow. Hogan staying on top of Rude. Now whips Rude across the ring into the turnbuckle. And Hogan is met with an elbow by Rude. And again, Hogan and Rude trading elbows, chops. Hogan now choking out Rude on the top rope. He has a count of 5 to break it. And he does. An even back and forth contest here thus far. As Hogan whips Rude into the ropes. On the stalemate. But a big clothesline takes Rude down. And Hogan lining up Rude. Could it be for that leg drop? But wait, Hogan, I think, taking its toll out. All those elbows and chops by Rude. Hogan whips Rude in, and there's the leg. Running off the ropes and drops the leg across the throat of Rude. Goes for the cover, but Rude makes it to the ropes. Are you kidding me? Hogan nailed the leg drop, but Rick Rude made it to the ropes. And now, into the turnbuckle goes Rude. Hogan with Rude ramming his head into the top turnbuckle. And the fans here chant, they count along. And 10 times. Into the top turnbuckle goes Rick Rude. Hogan goes for the cover. 2 and 3, no. Rude kicks out. 2 3/4. And ravishing Rick Rude kicks out. A reversal by Rude, and up and over goes Hogan. But Hogan, with a sunset flip, has Rude pinned. I think he surprised him. 2 and 3. And Hogan winning this contest with a sunset flip from the outside of the ring in. And what a contest. Rick Rude hit the Rude awakening. Hogan kicked out. Hogan hit the leg drop, and Rude made it to the ropes. And of all maneuvers, this match ends with a Hulk Hogan sunset flip. What a contest here on Wrestling Challenge. As Hulk Hogan gets the victory. And Hogan celebrating with the fans. And Rick Rude and Bobby Heenan having words at ringside. And wait! Rick Rude eyeing up Hogan. It looks like Rude is trying to sneak attack Hogan. He does! Get back to the ring! Get back to the ring! Rick Rude attacking Hogan into the match! Rick Rude just slammed Hogan down to the mat! We're still showing replays, but the live action, Rick Rude going after Hulk Hogan! And wait a second! Heenan grabbing a chair, handing it to Rude! Rick Rude's gonna attack Hogan with a chair, a 2-on-1 attack! The referee chased out of the ring, but here's Jake Roberts! Jake the Snake in the ring! Chases Rude and Heenan away! Oh man! Roberts checking on Hogan! And fans will be right back! Don't go away! And how about that? Jake the Snake Roberts coming to the aid of the Hulkster as Bobby Heenan and Rick Rude were looking to do some damage. Of course, that would have been twofold. Obviously, Bobby Heenan and Hulk Hogan have had a long-standing feud in the World Wrestling Federation, but obviously he also could have taken out Hulk Hogan to wear him down for the inevitable matchup against Paul Orndorff at WrestleMania. Jake the Snake Roberts coming to the rescue, and he will be taking on Ravishing Rick Rude at WrestleMania in a First Blood Snakebite match. That's correct. It's a First Blood match as Jake the Snake Roberts takes on Ravishing Rick Rude. Well, fans, it is time for our main event, as the Total Package Lex Luger will defend his United States Heavyweight Championship against one half of the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton. We still are unclear what the relationship between Gary Hart and Lex Luger is. Gary Hart said he was helping Lex Luger gain the World Heavyweight Championship. However, in this contest, Gary Hart is not at ringside. Without further ado, let's go to the ring as Lex Luger defends his United States Heavyweight Championship against Ricky Morton. And there he is, fans, one half of the Rock and Roll Express. Ricky Morton making his way to ringside. And he will challenge the Total Package Lex Luger for the U.S. Heavyweight Championship. Now, there are reports swirling backstage that this match was initially scheduled to be Lex Luger defending the U.S. title against the Great Muta. However, since the working arrangement with Lex Luger, Gary Hart, and J-Tex Corporation, the NWA needed to find a substitute opponent for the Total Package. Enter Ricky Morton, who, while he is focused on tag team wrestling, has challenged for the world title in the past. And there he is, the U.S. Heavyweight Champion, the Total Package, who of course is focused on the World Heavyweight title and could be ripe for the picking if Ricky Morton has his way. And the fans here giving Lex Luger a mixed reaction. I think many fans want to cheer the Total Package, but his attitude and behavior in recent months has many fans booing the Total Package. This match, of course, scheduled with a 1 hour time limit. It is for the U.S. Heavyweight Championship. In the corner to the right, he is one half of the Rock and Roll Express, weighing 229 pounds, Ricky Morton. And his opponent, the current United States Heavyweight Champion, weighing 275 pounds, the Total Package, Lex Luger. And you will notice absent at ringside is Gary Hart. So, again, Gary Hart focusing on helping Lex Luger achieve his destiny of becoming the NWA World Champion. But in this case, since Luger's defending the U.S. title, Gary Hart not at ringside as Luger has Morton up and down with a suplex. Goes Ricky Morton as Luger flexes to the fans here. Luger staying on top of Ricky Morton, and a big right hand. Another right hand rocks Morton. The third one staggers Morton, and an uppercut knocks him into the corner. Morton whipped across the ring, off the ropes. Oh, and it catches Luger in a stun gun. Luger charged, and Morton turned it into a stun gun, and now Morton has the advantage with a forearm to the back. Now Morton whipping Luger into the turnbuckle. Charges. Owen is met with an elbow and a shoulder block takedown by the Total Package. And a takedown by Luger, and Morton is back on the mat. Luger runs and drops an elbow across the forehead of Ricky Morton. So back and forth action in the early going as a big forearm to the back of Morton staggers him. Morton thrown into the ropes and is caught with a power slam by the Total Package. Luger going for the cover. Referee position counts 1, 2, and a kick out of 2. And this match almost ended very early. Luger staying on top of Morton with a kick to the midsection. But Morton fires back. And that's one thing, that's a trait that Ricky Morton will have. This guy never gives up. And a big forearm by Morton. And both men back to their feet. A big right hand by Ricky Morton. Whoops Luger into the turnbuckle. Charges shoot and follows up with a clothesline. And Luger in trouble for the first time in this contest. And now Morton working the arm of the Total Package. Luger trying to fight out of it. Morton really sinking in that arm drag, that arm lock. And Morton tying it in. Luger rolling over. Reverses with an elbow to the face. And Luger breaks the hold. Misses with a kick, but Morton throws Luger into the turnbuckle. Chest first. Oh, and Morton charging. Luger catches him with an elbow and a big right hand. Knocks Morton down to the mat. Luger goes for the cover, counts 1. And a kick out at 1 by Ricky Morton. Ooh, and rammed hard into the turnbuckle as Morton as Luger flexes again to the fans. Luger got his world title opportunity at Wrestle War. Of course, we've been talking about it for the last couple weeks. That match ended in a disqualification as Luger was on the losing end of that match. But a rematch, I'm sure, will be coming in recent weeks, or in upcoming weeks. In fact, on April 22nd, the NWA returns to Philadelphia at the Civic Center. And the main event signed will be Luger versus Flair for the world title as Luger goes for the cover, counts 2, and Morton kicks out. Of course, all over the country, Luger, I'm sure, will be getting more title opportunities. Will we have that announcement about Philadelphia? And now a forearm to the back. And Luger missing that time. Morton, moved out of the way a second time. But does not move out of the elbow. And Luger whipping Morton up and over the top rope. Goes Ricky Morton into the floor. And Luger's following suit. And Luger, with a big right hand, takes Morton down. The referee has begun a count. And this favors the package. A countout, a double countout, and Luger will still retain the U.S. title. But Morton and Luger back into the ring. Into the ropes goes Morton. And a big elbow takes Morton down. That was more of a chop. Luger goes for the cover. 2, and a kick out again at 2. By Ricky Morton. I will say this. Back at Wrestle War, when Lex Luger challenged Flair for the world title, he wrestled a more methodical match. Oh, it's Luger setting up Morton for the Attitude Adjustment and nails him. And Luger's wrestling a more methodical match now against Ricky Morton. And it may be over as he just nails Ricky Morton with the Attitude Adjustment pile driver. Goes for the cover. Will Luger retain 1, 2, and a kick out by Morton. Don't ask me how, but Ricky Morton kicked out of the Attitude Adjustment pile driver. And now Luger doesn't know what to do. He's making eye contact with Morton. But I think the package is very shocked here. Doesn't know what to do next. As Morton fires back with a big right hand. And the Hurricane Rana takes Luger over. Morton now in control, stomping away on the package. And a discus punch takes down Lex Luger. And now Morton climbing up to the top rope. What's he have in store? He's perched high on the top rope. Luger getting back to his feet. Morton leaves with a crossbody off the top. Could we have a new champion? Referee counts 1, 2, and 3. No! Luger kicks out. And Ricky Morton Ricky Morton arguing with the referee over the count. I'm losing my voice here. We almost had a new U.S. champion, but Morton wisely staying on top of the package with elbow drops and stopping. Luger trying to fight back with a big right hand, but instead flexes, and that enables Morton with a kick to the midsection high knee lift. And the package wisely rolls out of the ring. Oh man, I thought we had a new champion. I'm losing my voice here. And the package staying on top of Ricky Morton. Oh wait, he has more and flips him up into the ring. Are you kidding me? And a big right hand by Luger takes Morton down. But Morton throws Luger into the guardrail. And now Morton working the leg of the total package. The referee counts up to 7. Has to be careful to avoid the count out, up to 8. And Morton slides back in. Morton picking up Luger. And he nails a drop kick. He nails Luger with a drop kick. Morton going up top. Could it be the double knee? Luger prone on the mat. Morton has him set up. And now he missed with a double knee. Luger picks up Morton, charges with a clothesline. Takes Morton down. Morton had the title one, he went for the double knee, but Luger moved out of the way, nailed Morton with a clothesline, has him set up here for a torture rack, and Morton is locked in the torture rack. Will Morton be able to escape? Luger sinking it in. Morton trying to escape, but he can't, and he taps out. Lex Luger has retained the U.S. Heavyweight Championship here. What a back and forth contest. And here are some highlights from the contest as Luger nails that attitude adjustment pile driver. Morton nailed the crossbody up the top. And I thought that was it right there with a 1, 2, and 3/4 as Luger barely escaped. But Morton went up top to go for the diving knee drop. He missed it. Luger nailed the clothesline, put Morton in a torture rack, and retained the U.S. Heavyweight Championship. Fans, we thank you for tuning in. Your winner and still U.S. Heavyweight Champion, the total package, Lex Luger. We'll have another exciting edition of Gotmark76 this week for you next time. Until then, we'll see you at the matches. Goodbye, everybody. What the what?